Spencer Lewis here, previewing round number 3 of the OSCAAR Modified Tour coming up at Barrie Speedway on June 14th. I am here with one of the contenders for Rookie of the Year. I think a driver that surprised a lot of people, coming from the limited late model realm to open wheel modified competition. It is none other than Tommy Robb. And Tommy, I think out of all the rookies that are headed for Barrie Speedway, you probably have the coolest head of all of them because you grew up at Varney. So you know all about tight confines and patience and biding your time. You're going to need all of that on June 14th at Barrie.
Yeah, patience is a big thing. The biggest thing with short track and what I'm finding with the modifieds is strategy to stay out of the big one. There seems to be one at every track, and as long as you can keep clean of them, you're pretty much guaranteed to be in one piece and somewhere towards the front.
Now, you've sort of gone out of your way to mention in releases that it's all about survival in these modified races, that you just sort of have to get through the first 20 laps or so, and then you can sort of implement a strategy. Is that absolutely going to be the case at Barrie Speedway?
Not just Barrie. I think the rest of the season at every track, even the ones such as Kawartha a couple weeks ago, there's a lot of guys that have carried stuff over from last season still that are continuing it, and they're the guys that are at the front, and they're the guys you need to beat for the points. So as long as you can stay clean all the way through the finish of the 14 races, you should be one of the top guys.
Now, you came out at Sunset, won a heat race in your first round of qualifying, came out and had a great run at Kawartha. I think you surprised a lot of people with your big track modified debut. I mean, you've got a lot of momentum on your side right now, and I think there was a rookie crop that a lot of people were talking about, and I don't think a lot of people sort of had their eye on the 88 car, and you're making them pay for it now because you've had some great runs. How important is it for your program to put together a solid outing in week number 3?
The one at Sunset for us, for starters, that was big because that's our first win away from Varney anywhere, so that was huge to get us going. And like you say, the battle back at Kawartha, having to restart 21st on lap 2 to finish top 5, that gave us a nice shot. Unfortunately, the wreck here last weekend with my brother in the car, a long week, but going into Barrie, I think we've got some momentum on our hands still, and like you say, I think we got some people turning around and looking at us now, so it's a good start to our season. We just need to finish it off.
Now, the fact that you had 7 days door to door between the wreck on Friday and what's going to be the race on this Saturday on June 14th is incredible. How much damage was done to that car, and was there ever a moment where you felt as though there was a chance this 88 car wasn't going to be at Barrie?
Yeah, Wednesday night when I got the parts bill. It was quite an extensive laundry list of repairs that needed to be done. But like I said earlier, there's a great crew that's helped me this week. 4 guys there in the shop every night. We had it here tonight at Varney and shook it down at intermission just to make sure we don't have any problems. A few things to fix up first thing in the morning before we head off to Barrie, but we're looking for a top 5 again.
Tell me about the learning curve going from late models to modifieds, because we haven't had a whole lot of guys in the 3 years that the OSCAAR Modified Tour has been around. We haven't had a lot of guys drop down from limited. I wouldn't say drop down, make the lateral move from limited late model to open wheel modified competition. Is the experience any different than you thought it was going to be?
There's a huge difference. I've been around the mods, being them here at Varney, watching them being hooked up with Greg Gibson. Our first race at Peterborough last year for Autumn Colors, that was an eye-opener. The cars are a little wider, the 10-inch tires, 4-inch ride height. Everything's just different. You can see more in the car. The speed is incredible in what these do compared to a late model. But I think we're catching on pretty quick, and like you say, there's 10 more races to go.
Now, the fact that you've been able to sort of come out and have this big start to the season where you've already got a qualifier win, you've already got a top 5 finish at Kawartha, I mean, does this change your goals for the season? Do you want even more out of your rookie campaign than you had initially hoped for?
No, the goal's still the same. We got to finish every race. Last year, the top 3 in points were the guys that showed up to every race. So as long as you can make the trip, get to every race, keep your car in one piece, survive the race, I think the goal for the end of the year is if you're one of the guys that's in the top 5 for a rookie season, we're happy with that. Getting a win was just bonus.
Now, when you were a limited late model regular, you sort of employed the strategy that you seem to be really, really good at one track, and you sort of honed your skills at Varney. We saw you venture away from home, but not a whole lot. You were really based out of Varney. Now it's the complete opposite. You're going up and down the road. You're visiting different speedways, places that you don't have a whole lot of experience at. How are you liking the road life so far with the OSCAAR Modified Tour?
It's a lot different. Like you say, there's 3 tracks, Kawartha, Delaware, and Capital City coming up that we've never even been to, so don't have a clue where to start. But that's the challenge, right? Get there, get something done, make a name for yourself.
Now, I know it's not possible whether you're racing late model at Varney on Friday and Saturday nights or rolling up and down the 401 corridor or different tracks in the province of the OSCAAR Tour. You can't do it without sponsors. I know you got a dedicated group to get you to the racetrack. Thank the folks that make this possible for you.
Yeah, first and foremost, I got to thank the crew. They're there in the shop every week. They get me there every weekend to get the racing done. Got to thank the guys at First General, Hanover and Kitchener, Star Rock Construction, Roy Mark Construction, Greg Gibson, Tim Schreiner at Revolution Racing.
Now, I know, are you on Twitter yet?
No.
We got to get you on Twitter, man. We're going to do more of these interviews. We're going to get you on Twitter. We're going to get the Tommy Robb Racing Facebook page up. We're going to do big things this season. I mean, you've attacked this OSCAAR Modified Tour harder than anyone thought you were going to. Congrats on the start of the season. All the best this year. I guarantee we'll be checking with you before all is said and done, Tommy.
Awesome. Thank you.
There you go, folks. Driving the number 88 machine. He's the newest member of the OSCAAR Modified Tour, and he's making some noise. Remember the name. It's Tommy Robb.